Hi, and welcome to day 3 of Profile to Rank Up and Bank Up. And if you are here for day 3, awesome. I'm so proud of you because you are almost all the way through this training. And today we are really going to jump into the nitty gritty. So, how do you set up your profile? What things should you fill out and how should you fill them out? Cheeto's back. And then also I'm going to give you some content ideas, so what should you post? What are the things that people will really resonate with? What types of posts should you do? So that's what we're going to jump in today. My name is Tanya Humphrey, and I teach network marketers how to build a brand online using social media strategies. All right, day 3, I'm super excited. So first of all, not all profiles are created equal, right? What makes one profile more attractive than another is the question. Is it a salesy nightmare billboard, or is it a real human behind the profile? Is the basic answer. And I'm going to jump first into content. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about overall content strategy on your profile. Now, if you assessed your profile and said, oh my gosh, I am a giant walking sales billboard, it's okay. You can shift. But what you did when all you did was sale, sale, before and after pick, sale, sale, join my team, join my team. What you did was you taught your audience to ignore you. And that is the truth, because nobody wants to be sold. No one comes to Facebook to be sold. It's just the truth. And so what you need to do is switch up, right? We got to shift. We got to shift the content, and that's okay. You can make a million mistakes and still make changes. Lord knows I personally have done it myself. But it's going to take a little bit of time to shift your audience's perspective from ignoring you because all you ever do is try to sell them to, oh, he or she is starting to post some interesting stuff on their profile. Let me pay attention, right? So be consistent and be patient. So overall, when you're looking at your profile and you're planning out content, you want to follow the 80-20 rule. 80% should be value driven, leading with value, and only 20% should be promotion. So just keep that in mind as you're doing a promotion post. How many times have I promoted to my audience this day this week versus how many times have I led with value? And so that's the general rule that you should follow, 80% versus 20% on your profile. All right, so just keep that in mind as you're going. So let's talk about types of content. Okay, the first kind of post that I'm going to talk about is called lifestyle posts. So these kinds of posts are really about what means the most to you in your life. Give your audience a glimpse, right? Give your friend list a glimpse of who you are and what your life is all about. What's important to you? What things do you stand for? What things do you stand against? Do you have kids in your life? Do you have a super awesome relationship? Are you someone who works out every day diligently and you're super committed to that? Are you somebody who eats healthy? Are you somebody who doesn't and loves cheeseburgers and pizza? Or are you somebody who walks the balance line? That's what I do. I eat healthy most of the time, but every once in a while, girl just wants some pizza, right? What is important to you? Do you travel a lot? Do you have fur babies? Are they super important in your life? So what is it that is really important to you? Are there charities that you're really involved in? Are there causes that are super important to you? You want to make sure that whatever is important in your life is represented on your page. And so lifestyle posts are the first kind of posts. Now, as you're doing it, do it with intent. And what I mean by that is think a little bit, of course there's some that are just part of your life, giving a glimpse. But some of the lifestyle posts, you should really think about what has your business done for you? How has your business improved your life? What has your business allowed you to do that maybe you couldn't do without it? So have you been able to pay off debt? Have you been able to travel? Have you been able to pay for college or maybe quit your job? Have you been able to donate to a charity or take your kid to the zoo in the middle of the day, right? What have you been able to do that maybe you couldn't do without your business? I know for me personally, my daughter and I just got back from a trip to London and Paris. She had a cheer thing there and we went. It was for New Year's Eve. It was fantastic. It was such an amazing trip and I'm eternally grateful for my business for that. And so of course I posted pictures from that along the way with little messages, just a glimpse inside the life. And it doesn't have to be big things like that. It really doesn't. It can be as simple as getting to take your daughter to the park in the middle of the day, right? Because you could take a day off. Just think it through and really think, what has your business done for you? Those are lifestyle posts. Okay, the second kind of post is humor. And I'm telling you, yeah, you can do humorous memes, and yes, those definitely get some engagement, and that's great. And people love to laugh, right? But my favorite part of humor is real life, the life stuff that goes on that you just have to laugh at, right? And so like kids, if you have kids, are a really good source of those humorous posts. So are fur babies, actually. They do some funny stuff too. I have both, but if you have kids, they are hilarious for some of those posts. Like just the other day, I was having a conversation with my teenagers about slang words that were used when I was a teenager versus things that are used now. And I made the joke of, I really want them to choose the mission of bringing back Gag Me with a Spoon. And they laughed. And, my son says to me, Mom, that's literally on a list of things that will never come back, right? And so I shared that, and people were cracking up. They were sharing slang words, they personally used during their time. So just, look at life and pick out the funny things and share those stories, because people love that. They really do. So humor is the second kind of post. The third kind of post is inspiration. So this can be inspirational quotes, which people love. But if you do that, say why it's important to you, why it touched you, what's the meaning behind it for you, right? How did it speak to your life? You also, as much as possible with inspirational quotes, you want to go on and pick a picture and make it your own, right? So you don't want to take someone else's meme. You want to make it your own. So there's a website called unsplash.com, and they have free pictures that artists or photographers have done, and they've given permission for you to use and take them. So you can take the pictures and put the quote over it in an app called PicMonkey. That's just one. Canva is not an app, but it's another website that you can use, and you can make your own meme with the inspirational posts. So make it your own, right? Then it's unique, it's yours. So inspirational posts are another one. Also, you could talk about stories of struggle. What have you personally overcome in your life, or what has somebody on your team overcome in their lives? Share those stories, right? That's another way to inspire. And you can do this through video, you can do this through writing, completely up to you. Let's see, the fourth kind, I think I'm on 4, is motivation. So this one, you can share motivational videos. You can share stories of triumphs and wins. And it's either a video you find, right? You can share someone else's content, or you can make your own and share in the same way, right? The fifth one, and this one I love to do, is education. And in my personal opinion, the best way to do the education is going live. First of all, you're going to get more play on your profile with your live content, because Facebook will show it first. They will. So going live and teach your audience something you know about your industry. Educate them, teach them something about health and wellness, beauty, travel, whatever your industry is. Or you can write a post and educate people and share your knowledge, share things that you know that they need to know. So let's say you have chemical-free products, for example. Start educating on why that's important. Why is it important to go chemical-free, right? That's just one example. And by the way, when you do this, you don't want to put any names of your product or your company in the post, okay? So you're keeping this purely educational, and you are positioning yourself as an expert in the industry. So that's another kind of post. Okay, another kind of post that works great is questions. So I love fill in the blank. Some of the ones I've used is, if I had one superpower, it would be blank. If I could travel anywhere, I would go to blank. You can also use this or that questions, cats or dogs, coffee or tea, right? You get the idea, this or that questions. Get them thinking questions. This is one where Facebook will reward you if you can get a conversation going. So what is one limiting belief that's holding you back? Who do you most admire and why? What is one thing you can do to give back to your community, right? These are just some examples of getting things where they're actually going to have to type up a little more than a one-word answer. And Facebook will reward those posts if you can get the conversation going. And then multiple choice questions is the last one. Now, I use these a lot to figure out what it is my audience wants to learn about. What is it that they want to learn from me, right? And so I may say, how do you prefer to learn? Video, audio, or reading? This tells me which one I should do the most of, right? Post writing, video, or is it time to do a podcast? I've never had that one come up. It's usually video that comes up, to be honest. That's just one example of a multiple choice question. But you can make it so you're learning what it is your audience really wants to learn about, right? Actually, before I made this series, I asked the question and I gave multiple choices of what they need to know. And this one won out. And so this is one of the ones that went out. There was actually a few. So that's how I started to create the content. My audience told me what they needed to know. All right. So those are just some content ideas. Those are 5 content ideas. Hopefully you got a little value from that. And now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of your profile itself. How do you set up your profile to head towards profits, right? To make it the most effective for your audience, the most attractive for your audience. So let's talk about it. Make your profile public. I know some of you are going, oh no, right? And freaking out right now. And I totally get that because I have kids. And so I totally and completely understand that. Here's the thing though, you're building a business online and you want people to be able to find you. And if your profile is private or limited, people can't find you. And so it's harder to build that audience, right? And so you want to make your profile public. Here's the cool thing about it. You don't have to make every post public. You can actually, on the ones that you're just not comfortable having to be public, you can choose to just show them to your friends, right? So on those posts, just show your friends. And all good. So for parents, totally get it, but you can do it. You can do it public and just hide the things that you're not comfortable making public, right? Or make them just to your friends so that just your friends can see you. All right, here's the second tip for you. Hide your friends lists. Hide it. This makes it so no one else can see your friends list, and it makes it so that people can't poach your friends. I know not every network marketer is like this. I know there's a ton of us with integrity out there and wanting to do the right thing, but there are also some who will literally go through your list and just start friending people off of your list, just solely with the purpose of wanting to pitch them. So protect that asset, right? Your audience, your friends list, it's an asset. Protect it. Hide it so that nobody can do that. All right, so that's another tip for you. Then here's another tip. Turn on approve anything that is posted on your timeline. Okay, so there is a feature where you can actually turn on the ability to approve anything that comes on your timeline. What this prevents is people from putting their own products and business on your timeline. Yes, I've actually had people do that. I've actually had people post and pitch on my timeline, or try. I just don't approve the post, so it doesn't show up. So that's another tip for you. Make sure you're doing that. All right, let's talk a little bit about the profile itself. So profile picture. Guys, I know we love our puppies and kitties and we love our kids, but your profile picture needs to be you, okay? You are your brand. It needs to be you, and it should not be a meme, not your kids, not animals. It needs to be clear, forward facing. It does not have to be a professional photo shoot. I want to be clear on that. If you get one, that's fantastic, you guys, but it doesn't have to be. Just get a decent camera. iPhone works great, right? And it just needs to be clear, lighting in front of you, not behind you, not over you, not under you in some weird, shadowy thing. So it needs to be lighting in front of you, forward facing, and you want to make sure it is you. Okay. So that's it. First, profile picture needs to be you. Let's just start. Enough said on that. Cover photo. That's the next part you should absolutely be filling out. In this cover photo, here's some things to think about. This is where you can get creative about your, letting your life in a little bit. You can do, really think about when you're doing your cover photo. What do you stand for? What's important in your life? What inspires you? Canva is a great tool for putting together good cover photos. They actually have a template that is Facebook cover photos, so it's pretty easy to use. So my cover photo, my personal cover photo is my family, and I have a quote that is mine, so I came up with it, that says, "Don't fight the journey, embrace it." It's my quote. And it's kind of like a tagline for my brand. It kind of lets people know a little bit about what I stand for, right? And you could come up with a tagline yourself. So you could come up with whatever you stand for, what is important to you. Come up with a short, simple tagline that you can use. Okay, so cover photo is the next thing. The next thing is intro and bio. You want to make sure that you fill out your intro and fill out your bio. So use emojis that make sense in your bio. Describe what you are all about, okay? Make it interesting. Build a little curiosity in it. So mine says mom boss, brand builder, entrepreneur, helping moms and teens get resourceful and confident. This is something that people reach out and go, okay, tell me more about that. What? Brand builder, what is that all about, right? I've literally had people ask me. So make it interesting and use the emojis that make sense with what you're describing. Okay, next thing is featured pictures. I'm sorry, you guys, I need a little bit of water here. Okay, next thing is your featured pictures. In here, show your life. Who's important to you, right? So in your life, who's important to you? Could be family, could be friends, could be a trip that you took, right? Or what's important to you? What experiences are important to you, right? Show some fun things that you've done. Show a little bit of your fun side, right? Maybe it could even be a goofy face you're making with friends. Who knows? Work towards creating FOMO. And for those of you that don't know what that means, it means fear of missing out. So work towards creating FOMO with your pictures, right? Why should people want to hang out with you? That's what you want to do in your featured pictures. Definitely fill that part out. Okay, the next one is the about you info. So fill in your about info as much as possible. If you have a fan page or a business page, make sure you link that to your personal page. If you don't worry about that, okay? Don't worry about that at all. But if you do, make sure you link it to your personal page because you can get people from your personal page over to your fan page. Okay, so those are it. Those are the parts, and that is the content. I know this one was a little bit longer than the other two have been, but like I said, we got into the nitty-gritty of what you need to do here. So, homework time, because I think if you don't get into action, then you'll just have watched a video and kind of it won't help your business at all, right? So let's get into action. Here's what I would love for you to do. I want you to create a lifestyle post around who you are. And when thinking through the post, I want you to answer these questions. What drives you? What is the reason you got started in building a business? Without mentioning the name of your company or your products, okay? So what is the reason you got started in building a business? What are you most passionate about? What do you stand for? What do you stand against? And what means the most to you? And here's a bonus homework. If you're really feeling brave, write out the points and then go live. Go live and actually share, right? Share all the things that we just talked through. So if you're really feeling brave, go live. That would be the bonus homework. All right. Tomorrow, day 4, last day. So don't give up now. Is how the heck do I get more sales and team members if I never talk about my product and my business, right? And my company? How do I do it? So tomorrow, day 4, that's what we're going to cover. So hopefully you will tune in. All right. Have a great day.